pass, but they've touched Redmond's just touched Havarth, but Havarth, will he recover? I think that was a little bit cheeky of Redmond. Redmond, number 11, won't be too pleased with that. But Green's lost it under braking. They've touched, he's spun. Green's now in reverse, but Redmond's nipped past. Redmond takes the victory with Green second.
Chris Redmond returns to the series for round 3, but his entry is still under question. The stewards will be meeting next week to discuss Chris Redmond's entry and to decide whether it is valid. Until then, he'll be racing under protest and could score no points in today's race.
Be nearly in fourth, but still actually holding on to third by the skin of his teeth.
Yeah, looking back again there from Jack Green, you can see just how close Johnny Pickard is. Oh no, Johnny Pickard's out of fuel.
Hey Johnny, you were up there with Jack Green in the last race. Do you think you'll be back up there again, or is this circuit being unkind to you?
SA clubs, no problem for me, but you just tyre wear, what will be the main concern.
Is it wear or heat?
It's mainly the heat, but I can control that just by slowing the pace down.
Okay, now you've got a new colour scheme for this race. Do you think that will enable you to do all 20 laps, or is it going to stop 1 lap short again?
I can cure that problem easier.
So how many laps are you putting in this time?
Put a few more percent in this time, just to be sure.
Pineller's got a good look here. Dives down the inside. Can Dustin switch back and take the lead with Archie, but it's just enough to give Pinneller the momentum.
Last round's winner, Hannu Pinola, can't attend this race, but Murrock are here in force and they've been on dominant form in practice. Pinola's car will be substituted this round by teammate Rennie Cooley. Every race we like to nominate a good cause and to bring a little bit of attention and much needed publicity to otherwise lost good causes. The MS Trust is a leading charity for the 85,000 people in the UK who suffer from multiple sclerosis. They provide information, educate health professionals and fund research and campaigns for better multiple sclerosis services. The MS Trust has a positive approach to people with multiple sclerosis and aims to enable them to live their lives to the full. Hello and welcome to round 3 of the Sim Touring Car Cup at Aston Club. Today's race is a 20-lap race which should take us roughly half an hour and is the third round of the 2006 to 2007 World Championship. We've had a full turnout for this race and 2 drivers haven't qualified. Victor Sabo of Team Inferno is entering his first STCC race and he didn't qualify in Heat 2 after he had an accident. Callum MacDonald is standing in for Dustin Dawes this round. He also failed to qualify in Dustin's RB4. Another driver to look out for in the race is Tommy Harjula. Again, this is his first round, but he was looking very quick in practice, but he had an accident in the heats and he'll be starting last on the grid today. The championship couldn't be closer, with David Horvath and Jack Green tied in the lead with 39 points each. David has reaped the benefit of our points balancing system because he drives an XRT, which isn't a particularly quick car at any of the tracks and is usually somewhere in the midfield. He scores bonus points in the races, as do the other XRT drivers. To get the bonus points, the drivers have to win first in their class, as well as to do well overall. The dominant car on today's track is the front-wheel drive FXO, with the rear-wheel drive XRT being classified as our midfielder class. The four-wheel drive RB4 is our backmarker class today and will score the most bonus points. If you're watching this race on a streaming website such as Google Video or YouTube, you may prefer to download a permanent copy of the file. We host a high-quality version of our races, which is typically around half a gigabyte in size, and a smaller low-quality file, which you can keep permanently for your viewing pleasure. Post-race statistics and scrutineering and a gallery and desktop pictures can be downloaded from simtouringcarcup.com. Let's take a look on board a lap now with Victor Sabo in the XRT. Pulling away from the line, the XRT is extremely quick as we head down the start-finish straight. These first two curves are absolutely nothing when you're driving. You take them flat out, but on camera they can appear to be full bends, but really they're just kinks in the road as we head down to the first turn, which is Brooklands. And Brooklands is a very easy corner to get wrong. You can lose a lot of time here, although you won't see many accidents. The driver who gets it wrong will leave themselves vulnerable as we approach the centre S for an overtake. But it's a very, very dangerous corner to go through side by side. As we come up to the crest here, it's very tight on the right hand side, and if you get it wrong, you'll be in the wall. Drivers who get that wrong will leave themselves open to attack down the short straight as we lead into the next chicane, which is Dingle Dell. This right-left right-hander is over the brow of a hill and is extremely difficult to get it absolutely bang on. You can lose a lot of time there. You then come down the braking zone. This is a downhill off-camber braking zone. The front right tends to lock up as you go into Stadium Bend. You'll see drivers getting this wrong on the exit here, and that exit is absolutely critical to getting a good lap time. As you then go down to the main start-finish straight, which brings us over to the other end of the circuit. Redman resumes his championship campaign with pole position for round 3. Tommy Arens gets himself a huge bonus points haul for qualifying an RB4 in 2nd place, and Jack Green starts 3rd in the MG powered car. Johnny Picard is 4th in the FXO. He'll be looking to do better than last race when he ran out of fuel right at the end. Bill Mackey in the Murat car starts from 5th place. Now the Murat guys were really on form in practice. Bauer starts 6th in the XRT. And Stuart Baker, the unluckiest driver in the STCC, starts 7th. He'll be hoping to complete the first lap for the first time. Jean Moran starts 8th, and Beagley in 9th place, his teammate of Attila Hepburn, who we've seen in every round this year. Cooley, the standard driver for Pinelli, starts in 10th place, and Sam Hopkinson is down in 11th. Glasky starts the race in 12th position in his XRT, and Hep starts in 13th. Here's the surprise. This is David Horvath, championship leader, all the way down in 14th place on the grid. This is John Brennan, who's standing in for Mike Hayward this race. He starts 15th, and Chris Ramish starts 16th. This is another new driver, Alan Smithy. He starts 17th place, and alongside him is Lane Lang, who starts 18th. Last on the grid, look out for this guy. This is Tommy Hayula. He'll be coming up through the pack during the race. Let battle commence. We are green! Arens takes the lead in the RB4 from Redburn in 2nd, where Mackie has moved up to 3rd already and is pressuring Redburn for 2nd. He's taken 2nd. Green and Picard have boxed Bauer onto the grass, but Bauer comes out in 5th position with Picard in 6th. Further up the field, Redman is having a look back at Mackie as we go into Brooklands for the first time. Arens is leading. Redman takes 2nd position. Mackie's been pushed wide, and that's Green up to 3rd, and Picard through to 4th. Mackie has dropped to 5th position. Coming into the centre S's for the first time, Arens leads from Redman, Green, Picard, Mackie, Golaski's up to 6th place. And this is the midfield as they're going into the centre S, and that's Beagley, he's gone, and I think I saw Tommy Hayula spin there as well. And as they stripped it, and Stuart Baker, yet again, first lap incident for him. I don't think he did anything wrong there. He was reacting to Horvath, who in turn was having to swerve to avoid another car. So it was very unlucky for Stuart Baker. So his run-up continues as they're forward abreast coming out of the last turn and onto the start finish straight. The horns are tooting, and that's Redman taking the lead now from Arens. So Redman through in front, and then we've got Picard in 3rd and Green in 4th as they complete the first lap. Redman Arends, Picard, Green, Vimaki and Galaski side by side for 5th position. Galaski's trying to hold on as they come down into Brooklands. Picard's taking a look at Arends around the outside, and Green's taken in very, very late. He's pushed Picard wide, and Picard switched back him as they're coming out of the first corner. Redman and Arends is the order at the front, with Green, Picard and Arends trying to go all three into the CNRSs. It's not going to work like that. And Redman comes out in front with Picard now in second. Arends and Green are side by side as they're approaching Dingle Dell for the second time. And it looks like Arends going to take the line. Further back, Galaski and Wimaki were alongside each other. Galaski takes 5th position. Redman now leading as they come down to the last corner with Picard in second, Green's third, Arends in 4th position. And then we've got Galaski, Wimaki, Cooley is in 7th, Virenz is in 8th, Horvath has worked his way up to 9th position, and Bauer has dropped down to 10th. Lang is all the way up in 11th place, with Ramish in 12th, Hayula is up to 13th already, Hepp's 14th, Brennan 15th, Beagley 16th, Baker 17th, Smithy in 18th, and last is Hopkinson, who had a problem at the start. We didn't see it on the camera, but he had a lag problem and dropped to last position. So as they come round to start the third lap, it's Redman in lead. Picard is taking a look up the inside. Picard has overlapped with the rear, but Redman's kept the position. So that didn't quite work for Johnny as Jack Green tries to line him up. And the three of them are pretty much settled there for the moment, but they're all in position to strike if they get the opportunity to, or if one of them makes a mistake. And that's Tommy Arends going wide there. It's through the CNRSs. Tommy Arends very, very wide. He just misses the wall, but Galaski's got past, and that's allowed. Which Muruk car is that? That's Vimaki. Vimaki has taken the position from him. And so Arends dropped 2 places there in one corner just by going a little bit wide as he entered the CNRS. I think I just saw a car going off there to the very right of the screen. We'll try and find out who that was, or if I'm even wrong perhaps, as they come through to complete the third lap. Redman and he's now leading from Picard and Green. Green is looking very close to Picard. Green is in the slipstream as they come down the start-finish straight. He's surely going to take a look as we go into Brooklands. Green's going for the outside line, and as they come through the kinks, it's very much neck and neck as they come down into the braking zone for Brooklands. Picard has the corner, but Green's going to try and pressure him. He turns all right onto the apex there for Green. He tried to use all of the road, but Picard was there already, so there wasn't enough room there for Green to make the move, and Picard keeps second position from Green. And these three have already pulled out quite a noticeable lead to 4th position, which is now Galaski. Oh, Green hit the wall there on the exit. That will have hurt him. That will have cost him time. This is last lap. This is what I was talking about. Hayula and Bauer came together there, and they both went across the sand. And that's Attila Heck also on the grass there on the other side of the track. So 3 cars there off last lap. Redman now has the lead over Picard, who's not really close enough to take a look at the moment. He might try to slipstream Redman and down the start-finish straight here, and then perhaps have a look at the end of the lap. As the rest of the field come through, pretty much status quo. There's a few cars sort of close to a few others. That's Baker just going through the bottom of the picture there. He obviously had that problem at the start. He's trying to recover. Hopefully he hasn't got too much damage. That might pretty much mess up his race if he has, because that was yet again for Baker right at the start. Oh, Picard's made the move on Redman. He dives out at the very last moment there, but he pulls the move off. A little bit of contact there with Redman as he went through. It didn't look too bad. As Redman went to turn in, he found Picard was there, and that's given Picard the place. And Redman's taking a look back at Picard. Picard's gone wide as they come out of the CNRSs. Picard's over the grass. At last, Green through into second position. Picard is down to third, and Chris Redman is back in the lead. So he was only actually in second for about one corner. So Picard, Green and Redman, Green and then Picard. That's the order now. They're pretty much swapped it all around up front. Chris Redman, of course, is a motor mechanic by trade. He loves cars and mechanics. He has even raced dragsters out in the real one. But his road car is a Fiat Punto GT, so quite a step up when he races in the STCC. He'll probably kick me for saying that though. I've got closer to him. Keep it up, keep it up. That's a bad sector. Come on. E4. dropped back a little bit from the front too after that lap. Didn't work out too well for him. This is a battle further down. This is Horvath and Cooley battling it out for 7th place. Horvath, of course, the joint championship leader. He really does need this position. Every point counts for him at the moment, with Green in such a strong position and in such dominant form at the front of the pack there with the other FXOs. Horvath needs every single point as he's on the inside for the 7th place. Wait for them to come out of the centre S's. That's all. We're ready to clip the wall there, and it's very much Cooley in front at the moment. Horvath is all over the back of him though. As we rejoin the leaders, and we don't. Here is Horvath and Cooley now. So Horvath is credit to him. He is trying. He is in the inferior car perhaps, but as they come down into Stadium Ben, Horvath makes the move. Oh, very very late on the brakes, and he clips Cooley there at the front. Wasn't too bad though. He'll get away with that one. So Horvath now into 7th position and Cooley in 8th. There's a pass at the back of the field. Bauer passing Beagley.
E9. Losing Redman, stop on it.
That's the bumper cam of Cooley. That's how close he is to Horvath. So he's probably going to try and make a move now as we come back into Brooklands. It's Cooley on the outside. Horvath has the line and has defended it well. So Horvath keeps 7th position for now. Cooley won't get around the outside of the centre S from there. He's not in the right position to do it. So Horvath keeps 7th place. And that's Hayula in 9th now. So Hayula still working his way through the field. Still early enough for him to get quite a good result here. You can see the damage he did to the front of the car at the start there. The front left up Hayula's car was all a bit crumpled up. So Redman leads, Green 2nd. There's Picard in 3rd. Golaski 4th, the top XRT driver. Birmaki 5th. That's Arenz in 6th. 7th Horvath, Cooley right on top of him. Hayula, Lang, Hep. Arenz going through now. Remish, Baker, Beagley, Bauer. 16th position. So this is the 8th lap of 20. We're almost to the halfway point. Redman leading Green. Green's looking like he's in good shape now with Redman. So the battle of the first race with Green pretty much in front the whole race until the last corner, having a chance to play out in reverse now with Redman in front and Green chasing him down. Jack Green is of course the self-confessed geek from Suffolk in the UK. He loves the FXOs, the whole reason he joined the STCC. Oh, that's Hep. Attila Hep's gone wide at Brooklands, a Hungarian driver, and that's cost him a lot of places. Practically the whole field's just streamed through. That has really hurt Attila Hep. I don't see him recovering from that too easily. Attila Hep, of course, this week has just been nominated chairman of the drivers' representative panel, so he now has a seat on the management of the series and represents the drivers. And Green is now right on top of Redman. They're very very close, and surely he's now lining Redman up for the pass. Green's in Redman's slipstream. I don't know if he's quite going to be close enough for Brooklands this time. I don't think he is. And he's not really in the slipstream there either, so he's not going to be close enough this lap, but he's certainly looking promising for a pass soon perhaps. And Picard, I think they're starting to close up. This is Hayula taking 8th place from Cooley, so Cooley's lost 2 places in the last few laps. So Hayula very much on the move still. Look, these front 3 are now separated by just 0.65 of a second. The gap back to 5th is about 5 seconds. So we're right on board with Mike Bauer of the POD team. This is in an XRT. You can see the deformation of the tyre as he goes through Brooklands. The tyre really working hard here on that corner because it's such a high G-force corner. So we wait for him to come through the centre S's. The field streams past, pretty much status quo in the middle. Everything's kind of settled down at the moment. Look at the G-forces on the tyre here. And that's a slow-moving Europe car there. Coming up towards Dingle Dell, that's Ray Mish. Ray Mish in the RB4. Looks like the front of his car's taken a bit of damage there. Comes down into Stadium Bend, so we can have a look at the front of Ray Mish's cars, the blue car at the back of the picture. Got a lot of damage down the front right. Here's a replay. This is last lap, and it's hit that tyre hard. That's taken out Baker again, so his poor run of luck continues, and Beagley also lost a few places there. So all three drivers there pretty much coming out badly. Don't think anyone particularly gained from that. That was Raimish. I think he just missed the corner and hit the tyre wall. Oh, there's a battle. This is Arends in 6th position with Horvath in 7th and Hyula in 8th, who's now pretty much in 7th. I don't think Horvath's got an answer for that. That was a very good clean move by Hyula. So Hyula moves up to 7th place, Horvath back down to 8th. This is really hurting his championship. He needs to get a couple more positions under his belt and then he'll be in a strong position. And that's Green side by side with Picard. Didn't see that one building up. Picard is putting the pressure all over the back of Green now. He's one side then the other as they come onto the start-finish straight. Picard is very much in Green slipstream. He is going to be alongside as we go into Brooklyn, surely. Picard pulls out, he's making the move. Green's trying to use up all the track he can, but he hasn't got any more moves left. You can move once and then return to line. That's all the moves you get. So Green now pretty much defenceless as Picard comes around the outside. Can he outbrake him as they come into Brooklands? They're pretty much even Stevens. Green's got the line, so Picard's going to end up in 3rd position. Will he try to switch back? No, he's going to go all the way around the outside and try and take the inside line as they come into the centre S. Picard and Green still side by side. Picard goes through to 2nd. Green's trying to cut the corner as much as he can to try and come back at Picard as we come up towards Dingledale now. Picard's in 2nd. Green all over the back of him. He pulls up one side. Picard covers the line. Through Dingledale, they're pretty much single file through here. You can't really get two cars side by side, but Green's using all the track he can to try and make an attack into Stadium Bend. Green pulls out. He's got the inside line and he has outbraked Picard. Picard's not able to turn in and fully use the track. Green's car was already there in front of him and they're side by side. They've been side by side for an entire lap and they're back where they started, but now it's Picard on the right and Green on the left. Green's tucked back in, so Picard had a better run out of the last corner. And now Green's trying to use the slipstream. Picard's used all his moves, so now it's Green who's going to try and drive around the outside of Brooklands. Still side by side. Green's going to take the outside line as they come into the braking zone. Picard edges in front and he covers the line and he's moving again, and that's blocked Green off as Green tries to struggle along the apex. Picard's kept a very, very tight line indeed, and that's pretty much ended Green's attack run for now. And we just had news from the pits. Brenand in the UKCT team, he has pitted for tyres in an XRT, so some of the XRTs perhaps struggling there to make their rear tyres last. These three now have an 8-second lead over Golaski in 4th, so they've pretty much run away with it. With Vimaki 10 seconds behind in 5th place. Arends is in 6th, Hyula 7th, Horvath down in 8th place. Cooley is 9th, the stand-in for Hannu Panola, who won the last race, with Lang in 10th. Oh, Picard clipped the tyres there, and that's allowed Green an attack run. Green's now alongside. Picard lost all his momentum by clipping those tyres out of the last corner. Green's on the outside, and he's going to drag past him on the straight. So he's not even going to have to fight him into Brooklands. Picard's trying to come back at him, but he's going to have to use the slipstream to do it, to get his momentum back up as they come through the Michelin Bridge and down into Brooklands. Picard will perhaps try to go for the inside line as they come into Brooklands. Yes, he has. He's gone in late. He's locked his tyres up. He's all over the place, but he's blocked Green up, and Picard is now back into 2nd position. Green now down to 3rd, and he's lost the momentum there as Picard took the place. So an excellent move there for Picard. These two pretty much deadlocked now as they're constantly swapping positions, but Picard has got it, and Green down to 3rd for the moment. But Green is in the slipstream as they approach Dingledale. There's no way through in Dingledale, but he's going to have a look anyway. Green's taking the inside line into Dingledale, and Picard keeps the line. That's so hard to do when you're actually in the car as you come over the crest of that hill. You really can't see much. And oh dear, that's John Brenand. John Brenand on cold tyres. Of course, he's just come out of the pits. Got it all wrong under braking. Very, very sideways. Took out one of the corner markers. And the safety car is on standby, we're told. So safety car on standby. John Brenand, they're on track. It's quite a dangerous position. Will he rejoin from there? It looks like he's going to rejoin to me. Yep, he's got back going, so we won't have the safety car after all, I think. And a move there under yellow flag. That was Beagley and one of the POD cars. So a bit naughty there. Lap 14. So Green and Picard still fighting it out over second position. Redman pretty much running away with it at the moment. Back in the second place, giving him some breathing room, so he's pretty much out on his own now, just running his own pace. This is a move into Brooklands. This is Bauer trying to pass Viegli for 13th position. These are the two that were fighting it out under the yellow flag, and Bauer has not quite got the position. Viegli's gone all the way around the outside. That was excellent driving there by the Hungarian. And we've got a move here, Hyula and Virmaki fighting it out for 5th position. Currently it's Virmaki in 5th, as Hyula in the blue and white car behind. Hyula's lining him up for a run into stadium. He's pulled out, and he should get him under braking, surely. Yes. Yeah. And that's Virmaki, really no answer to that. Excellent driving from Hyula. Oh, but he's having a look on the exit, but I think he kept his line too tight, and Hyula's going to have the momentum as they go down the main straight. So Hyula up to 5th position. You being a bit deceptive, I don't think Virmaki will come back from that at all. And Hyula takes the position. There's Arendt and Horvath quite close there further back. And there's a battle unfolding. Lang and Heck, 10th position is it? 10th or 11th, something like that. Yep, 10th place. Elaine Lang, Holland in the XRT. That's, Heck going right for the inside line, but Lang covered it. And the Dutch driver stood in for Strobe in the last round in the iTech coloured car, but now has his own entry. And that's still an XRT. It's the white cyan pale blue colour with the red bag. That's Elaine Lang, and behind him is Attila Hebb, who we've seen at every race this year, quite dedicated to the series. And they're fighting it out over 10th position, so that's the last of the championship points. Excepting of course the bonus points for RB4 and XRT drivers, which Lang looks quite strong for, because of the XRTs it's Galaski, then let me see, Horvath second, and Lang third, so he's third of the XRTs. The RB4s in front at the moment is Virmaki, the Murup driver. Reds is the second RB4, 7th overall, and then Cooley, another Murup driver. 4 laps left to go then. Redman pretty much secure at the front. Green and Picard close enough to threaten each other towards the end of the race as we ride on board with Picard. They'll be looking after their tyres by now, of course. A lot of the FXO drivers were saying the front tyres were getting a little bit too hot towards the end, depending of course on how much pressure they put into the tyres and what compound they chose to run. These are all road tyres, but they run a super soft version of them, so they wear isn't really a problem over this length of race, but temperature can be if they push too hard and lock the brakes up too much, especially into the last corner. The last corner here, Stadium Bend, because it's such an off-camber braking angle, it's so easy to lock the front right, and you can get a puncture. So we're watching the battle for 10th. That's Lang and Hebb still duelling it out for that last point on the championship table. And this is interesting. This is the battle for 4th. This is Galaski under pressure from a recovering Hyula. Patrick Galaski from Germany, the XRT, and Tommy Hyula from Finland. So Hyula's worked his way up from last on the grid, and he is now right with Galaski. He's going to have a look perhaps around the outside as they go into the CNRS. He's overlapping, so it's moving right on board with Mike Bauer in the XRT, and that's a replay, and that's a puncture. That's why we're being shown it. Mike Bauer's front right locking up under braking for that last turn. The tyre is completely deflated, and I don't think he's realised he's just gone past the pit entrance, so he's going to have to do a whole lap with a punctured tyre. It's a puncture going into the last corner. This is the 10th place scrap. Lang, Hebb, and that's Viegli. Hebb's teammate is closing up on them. Here is Bauer trying to turn into the CNRS's, and of course it just won't turn because all the weight tries to go to the front right wheel, and there's supposed to be a bit of rubber around it, and there isn't. But this is Picard now, right on top of green. Picard going for the move on lap 18, just 3 laps to go. Picard going round the outside. He's going to try and attack round the outside of Brooklands, and he's actually got a car length in front there, but Green's later on the brakes, and he blocks the line. Picard switchbacks as they come out of the corner. Picard's going to have a run into the CNRS's. He's going to go round the outside. Surely there's no way to go round the outside of the CNRS, but he's staying with Green, tucks in behind on the turn in there. cutting as much track as he can, and trying to get a run out towards Dingledell. He's alongside, perhaps. No, Green's just got momentum. Redmond now 2.5 seconds ahead of these two. Really are right on top of each other. Picard's giving it all he's got in these last couple of laps to try and get second position off of Green. They had a terrific battle in round 2, of course, which ended when the safety car came out, and then, as we've already covered in this programme, Picard ran out of fuel as Bowell leaving the pits after getting his tyres changed. Picard now not quite as close this time as he was last lap to Green, but still close enough to strike before the end of the race. He'll let his tyres recover and have another go. Now this is the Hyula and Galaski battle for 4th position. Hyula still stuck behind Galaski. Galaski doing a great job to hold Hyula off in the XRT. Total credit to Galaski in this race for getting an XRT into 4th position and currently holding it against a very fast driver in an FXO. So brilliant job there by the German driver. But Hyula, surely he's got him now as he's coming into Brooklands. Maybe he's not quite close enough. He's going to have a go anyway. He's going to try and drive around the outside of Galaski, but that's not going to work. Galaski's too good a driver for that. They come out of Brooklands and down towards the centre S. Galaski's pretty much got the momentum. I don't see Hyula having a go here. What he needs to do is try and line him up for a run into Stadium Bend at the end of the lap. He's very, very close now, perhaps a little bit too close. He wants to be carrying extra momentum going through Dingledell. Galaski covering the line there down the straight. I've never seen anyone try and pull a manoeuvre entirely on that straight. It just can't be done. And now, of course, he's lost all the momentum coming into the last corner. So great defending there from Galaski. Brilliant controlling of the pace. Actually, very sideways into Stadium Bend, though. Very sideways indeed. And very slow at the apex. And that, again, has cost Hyula the opportunity to get the run on him coming out of the corner. So brilliant driving from Galaski, and thinly veiled defensive driving to block Hyula on the apex. And on the last lap now, Picard all over the back of Green. Can Green hold it? Green really struggling there to get the turn in, but Picard all over the back of him as they come up to the centre S. He's in the wrong place, surely. He's not going to do it that way. He needs to attack into Stadium Bend. He's got one chance in this lap. If he's too close through Dingledell, he won't do it. And he's just about got it right. He needs to get in the slipstream now and get the momentum through Dingledell and then a run down into Stadium Bend. That's what he needs. He's right on top of Green. This is going to be the move. The last lap, the last corner. Picard going around the outside of Green. He's going all the way around the outside. He's locked the brakes up. He gets it onto the curb and Picard's got it sideways. He's blown it. Johnny Picard has blown his chance of second place on the last corner. He got the move all wrong, so Jack Green will take second position. Picard will be third, but here we are. Here's the winner. Chris Redmond crosses the line. That's his second STCC race victory of the year, and that'll give him a very strong championship position. Green is second, Redmond is Picard is third. But here's the battle for fourth. We've got Hyula and Galaski absolutely side by side over the line. Hyula slightly in front, but as the XRT changes gear, it's the XRT comes in front, and I've no idea at all who was fourth. They were absolutely level, edging in front of each other as they went through the gears, and as they crossed the line I couldn't tell which one was in front. I really couldn't. Chris Redmond is the winner. There he is, going a little bit too hot with a slow down lap. It's supposed to be a yellow flag lap, of course. Green and Picard putting on a bit of a show there for the spectators, to be perhaps driving a little bit slower. So Chris Redmond wins, the second time he's won this season. He didn't race in the second round, of course, so Green is probably going to go top of the championship for the moment, but Redmond will be right up there. And we've got confirmation of fourth place. Patrick Galaski by 0.01 of a second beats Tommy Hyula to fifth place. So there we go, there's Galaski fourth, Hyula fifth. It was a Murok in sixth, so that would have been Vimaki. And I didn't see he was seventh, and I've kind of forgotten in the excitement of the last few laps. I'll have to wait for the results to come up on the screen. And oh dear. And so much for the world's best touring car drivers. And that's Stuart Baker, who's flouted a stranded Tommy Arends, and not exactly the demonstration of world-class driving. Quite a lot of them still getting it very, very sideways. That's the way you're supposed to do it, nice and steady, by David Horvath, bringing the cars round to Parc Fermé. So provisional results: Chris Redmond winner, Jack Green second, Picard third, Golaski fourth, Harjula in fifth place, Wimaki sixth, and Tommy Arenz in seventh. Tommy Arenz, of course, missed the second round. He's competing in a Masters of Endurance race, so he couldn't attend. Horvath in 8th, Cooley 9th, a stand-in for Pinola. He did very well for his first race. Lang 10th, Beagley 11th, Heppin 12th, Baker 13th. Didn't quite get the recovery drive he needed. Every time he got up there, he had a problem and slipped right back down again. So not such a great race for Baker this time. He's yet again been very unlucky. Behrens in 14th place for the POD team. That's the RB4 driver in the POD team. They have two cars. It's not the XRT we saw in the pits getting his tyres changed. Smithy 15th. Hopkinson recovered to 16th in the end, passing Bauer, who was a lap down. Brenand, who we saw spinning, coming 18th. And Chris Ramish, who of course retired midway through the race. We saw him have that nasty accident with the tyre wall on the last bend. So there we have it, 20 laps down, gruelling race. Quite a lot of battles for second position particularly. Heck of a battle at the lead at the start, but it's Chris Redmond. And as Mike Johnson would say, that's a sterling effort from the lad from his own hometown. How was that for you?
It's good. It gives me some more points from the last race that I actually missed. But staying in front was extremely hard.
So Jack and Johnny were pushing you pretty hard for a lot of the race, weren't they?
Yeah, at the start they were pushing me quite hard, but when they started fighting against each other, it just gave me the opportunity to hot lap basically, just get some my tyres down to operating temperature and just get on with it.
So in the end it was a fairly easy race.
It was. I mean, all I were doing is basically hot lapping, but if Jack and Johnny wasn't fighting, I'd have had a very difficult time keeping in front, I think.
Okay, thank you very much, Chris. Bye-bye.
No problem, Becky.
Well, that's it for now. You've been watching the Sim Touring Car Cup. Next month in December we'll be running at the Fern Bay Club track, which is a very, very short track considering the size of an STCC grid, so you can expect lots of action and lots of accidents, I'm sure. Until then, do be sure to check out the website at simtouringcarcup.com, and we'll see you next month. Ta-ra for now.